Welcome to Fresno City Vision. I'm Randy Reed. Did you know that there are more than 180,000 trees in the city of Fresno? They're enhancing our landscape of our community. They're providing shade. They're cleaning our air and delivering all sorts of other benefits. It's a big urban forest, and it takes a lot of effort to keep it healthy and growing. In fact, the city of Fresno has earned the distinction of being named a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for its ongoing commitment to a healthy urban forest. To talk more about trees in Fresno and what they contribute to our community is Jamie Hodge. He is Forestry Supervisor for the city of Fresno, and he's really in charge of maintaining that urban forest in our city. Jamie, welcome to Fresno City Vision.
Thank you, Randy.
Let's talk about the urban forest. As I mentioned, 180,000 plus trees, probably a lot more than that over the entire city. That sounds like a lot, and I want you to tell us how big of an urban forest we have and how we compare to other communities.
Compared to other communities, we're pretty close with Sacramento. Sacramento is the flagship for California and urban forest. They have a lot of trees there, and they do a very, very heavy maintenance program there, or did before, which we're all in the cuts now. So,
right, struggling with the economy.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So,
okay.
But everything's going pretty good. So
the distinction of an Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation, the city of Fresno has earned that distinction for 19 years. How does that come about? That's, I think, quite a feather in the cap of our community.
Absolutely. Tree City USA is an evaluation process done by the Arbor Day Foundation and the State Commission, Forestry Commission. What they do is they look at your proactive tree trimming, your planting, and how much you spend on tree maintenance per capita. And it's a three-part factor in there that they put in, and you apply for it 6 months ahead of time, and they tell you, look, you did good, everything looks good, you have a good tree program going, you have a maintenance and a board, and congratulations, you're Tree City USA.
And which is great news. In 19 years, something that the community really should be proud of, rightfully proud
Absolutely.
of. But let's talk about nuts and bolts. What really do trees do for our community? Sure, they look pretty, but what other benefits do they bring?
Many benefits. They clear the air of pollen, which we all have allergies in the valley. Smoke, dust, you name it, the trees do it. They release oxygen through photosynthesis. They have many, many benefits. They provide shade, which lowers air temperature, which lowers the ozone. So many benefits trees provide.
Now, with a lot of asphalt in our city as well, because we're spread out far and wide, and large parking lots for commercial developments and things like that, do trees help in that regard as well to kind of keep the temperature of the asphalt down? I've heard that sometimes is a factor.
Trees increase longevity of concrete and asphalt. It's a study that we've looked at, and it does increase the longevity of the asphalt and the concrete in the infrastructure.
All right, that's a benefit as well.
Absolutely.
What types of trees do we see in the city of Fresno?
We have from Christmas Tree Lane, the large deodorus cedars on Christmas Tree Lane, to Huntington Boulevard. We have some camphor trees down there that are over 100 years old, and many varieties in between. I think the last time we counted, we have over 300 species in the urban forest in the city of Fresno.
Okay. In your experience, how does the community respond to our urban forest? Are they aware of the significant level of forestry that we have? Do you feel our community is proud of our urban forest?
Yes, they're very proud of our urban forest. We have a big volunteer effort. Once a year we plant trees. Last year for Arbor Day we planted trees at a school site, park strip trees with the school. Partnered with the school to do it, and it was a very good deal. But yes, the community is very interested in the trees and the benefits they provide. Lowers your PG&E bill. Everybody wants that.
You bet.
Shade helps.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the tree maintenance that the city of Fresno does. As we just talked about, in the current economic climate, it's been necessary for communities all around the country to make some reductions, but the city of Fresno is still maintaining trees throughout the city. Talk about the services that your tree crews provide in maintaining the urban forest today.
We have emergency services. That's our heaviest task right now. I have 3 crews in the city. We go around and we pick up everything from trees down to limbs down, bees, maybe an emergency, anything like that we take care of throughout the city.
We have some footage on the air right now of some of your crews out there doing work, making, looks like maybe it's a diseased or a damaged tree. What are some of the qualifications, if you will, or the reasons that you use for taking a step like this?
This tree was actually a dead tree. We're removing the tree. City policy says dead, diseased, or dying is criteria for removal. This tree that we're looking at here, it was over 65% dead, so it was deemed as a hazard. Limbs could fall out easier than they could in a live tree. So it was deemed as a hazard, so we needed to remove the tree.
Okay, and I'm guessing that that's kind of a last worst case scenario, but certainly trees do go through life cycles.
They do.
There is a need to do that, and with that many trees, it must keep you pretty busy.
Yes, sir, it does. We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We respond to, like I said, all types of tree emergencies.
And a lot of that happens, I know, during storm periods as well in the city.
Storms, wintertime storms, and then summertime heat. So we get a full year of work all the time.
What about the level of expertise that the city has to maintain the forest appropriately? Qualifications of the folks who are working in this area?
I've been working in the forestry industry for over 12 years. My arborist, Dan Turner, has been in the industry for about 15 to 16 years. Our tree crews, altogether, we probably have 150 years of experience if you add it all up. So we're pretty well covered in that. And the city foresters throughout the state of California, we talk through the Central Valley Urban Forest Council or the California Urban Forest Council. So we're all time in contact with each other, and we compare notes a lot with other cities. So,
all right, very good. I heard recently there was a little bit of a dust-up in the city of Fresno over a proposal to perhaps transfer responsibility for the maintenance of trees on what are called park strips, the sections in front of a house, in front of a sidewalk, between the sidewalk and the street, that responsibility for maintaining those trees was being proposed at one point to be transferred to the homeowner. The city of Fresno ultimately decided not to do that, but my understanding is most other cities in California do require homeowners to maintain their park strip trees. Can you talk a little bit about that?
A lot of the cities in Fresno don't have a maintenance program. Or in California, sorry, don't have a maintenance program. So what they do is they put the responsibility on the homeowner. It's still a city tree, but you as the homeowner are responsible for trimming it. Fresno's taking it a step further. You know what? This is our tree. We're going to maintain it. We're going to go for the viable, healthy species of tree, and we're going to make sure that they stay that way. We want the trees to stay in good health, to help with the ozone, to help with the dust, the pollen, the oxygen in the valley, and that's what we really need. So that's the reason we do have a maintenance program.
Okay. And now, again, because of the economic climate right now, the focus is more on the diseased trees and the damaged trees and emergency work with regard to trees. But homeowners can maintain their own trees if they choose to themselves, or hire a contractor if the city cannot either get to the issue or deems that it's not an emergency. Is that correct?
Right. And
explain that a little bit.
What they have to do is call in to 621-1492. That is our office number, and they'll ask for a permit to trim their tree with a licensed contractor.
There's no cost for that permit,
Nope,
I understand.
It's a free permit.
Excellent.
Or you as the homeowner, you can trim anything that you can reach standing with both your feet flat on the ground.
Okay.
We ask that you don't get in a ladder or climb up in the tree because of accident issues and liability. But anything that you can reach from the ground, you can trim yourself.
Does that include using a pole trimmer?
Absolutely. You
Okay.
can use a pole pruner and clip and trim as you need in your tree.
All right.
As long as your feet stay on the ground. That's
Sure.
the biggest thing.
Okay, all right, good to know. So people do have an option, even with some limited resources. They still can go out and maintain trees on the park strip, just as I assume they're doing on their front yard and backyard and side yards in the property that's actually that they own.
Right.
Okay, good to know.
Right.
So that phone number again?
621-1492.
Okay, very good. Jamie, anything else you want to share about Fresno's urban forest?
We're very fortunate to have a forest here. We're in the valley, and we have bad air here. It's just part of living in the valley.
Yeah.
trees help that. We want to keep as many viable trees going as we can.
It's very nice to be up at a higher elevation and looking out and seeing all those green canopies
Very
out
nice.
there. So it makes it very nice living in Fresno. Jamie, thanks for being on the program
Thank you.
today. Appreciate it. My guest has been Jamie Hodge. He is the Forestry Supervisor for the City of Fresno. And if you'd like more information about the city's urban forest or its tree trimming program, you can reach Jamie at the number that he mentioned, or you can call 621-CITY. That's 621-2489. That's all the time we have today for this edition of Fresno City Vision. Thanks for joining us. For the City of Fresno, I'm Randy Reed.